part of your practice of self-inquiry, I want you to imagine that liberation has already happened and is in fact happening every moment of your experience. Why is it helpful to think in that way? Just imagine that this is the case for a moment. Like really feel it. How would you know? Or stated otherwise, how would you know that you are not liberated, that you are unenlightened? You would have to come up with that concept first in order for any of that to make sense. You would have to develop a sense of that duality of enlightenment or not enlightenment, whichever you think is present for you right now. So when you imagine yourself to be beginningless enlightened, that you are already enlightened without beginning and no end, how would that feel? Like really deeply develop this sense for where and what would be different. Where would you know in your direct experience right now that you are enlightened? And how would that be different from your assumption right now that you are not? Those are really deep questions to ponder. So, and it is in fact the case that you are, if you are not perceiving yourself to be enlightened right now, that this is not something that is a factual state of the world. No, it's something that you are producing in every moment. It's an assumption baked into how you perceive the world. It's baked in to what you perceive before you become conscious of it. So it's not under your influence whether you choose in every moment to perceive it one way or the other. There is really deep down, from the level of pure perception, a process until it arrives in your conscious awareness, and somewhere in that process, many times per second, you perceive that perception to be somehow separated from what you believe you are. And so enlightenment is more about stopping to create that illusion moment to moment. And here is where it comes in that it's very helpful to think of your current state of perception as already enlightened. Because then it's rather in removing whatever is keeping you from realizing that, rather than saying, okay, I have to develop some special sense in which to perceive the world in order for me to realize really deep down that I'm enlightened. So it's actually more like an act of stopping to produce some illusion, rather than creating a new way of perceiving the world that you then have to keep up and maintain. That's not what it's like. It's more about realizing what is already so. And really, every moment of perception, that's a reflection of God. And at one point in your storyline of who you are and what the world is, something got mixed up. You can see it like that. We have denigrated the raw perceptual experience of all senses, including the mental images and mental talk. We have reduced that somehow to, oh, that's not important, that's not where it is, it's somewhere else. Usually in our stories of who we want to become, of the goals we want to reach, of when and which conditions have to be met in order for us to feel happy. So we think that it's in arranging the things in our experience to our liking, so that then, oh, finally we can get what we want. Somewhere in your past, this story has gotten created and is running the show, and it's constantly, moment to moment, distracting you from the beauty that is arising here and now. But don't confuse that part to be anything else but part of experience. So it's more like a texture of what it is to experience a human being. The whole process of developing yourself spiritually will eventually lead to you dropping a lot of those mental fabrications. But it is, and that is crucial to realize, not necessary for you to drop any of that to realize that. You had moments, many of them in your life, where the beauty of the experience itself just broke through your whole mental story that you are constantly keeping up. You know those moments. Maybe the beautiful sunset, or making love with your lover, or just tasting some new, very beautiful food for the first time, very tasty food for the first time. Like, there are these moments and you know them. But the process of becoming that continuously, that is where practice comes in. But I just wanted to share here this perspective of, okay, you want to stop producing something that keeps you from realizing your enlightenment, rather than thinking you have to develop some special kind of perception in which then the whole world somehow appears more special or different to you, or suffering or pain has been removed from that experience. That's not the case. So I hope this pointer is helpful. It's a type of self-inquiry. And so you are not going to see all of these things in your meditation, in those practices. Those shifts in perspective come as a result, and you pondering with these questions what you are experiencing in meditation. So it's important to distinguish the two. Concentration, that's something fundamentally different, yet also very important. So hope this is helpful. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.